Lovely. So we're going to start with a little breathing practice. So we're going to just sit cross-legged on the mat and your way. So if you want to sit with normal cross-legged in Sukhasana, you can. You can come into half lotus if you want to, or full lotus. So whatever feels good for you. Just take a moment to get comfy, maybe move those fleshy bits out of the way. And we're just going to center ourselves, getting ready for the practice. It's been a few days since we've done stretching and things like that together, and maybe a little while longer that we've done a class together. So let's just center ourselves. So we're going to just, if you have got an oil that you want to use, feel free to incorporate that into this breathing practice. And if you haven't, that doesn't matter either. So we're going to do some 3-part breathing. So we're going to take the one hand on the belly. So if we take the right hand onto the belly, and the left hand's going to come onto the chest. Now just making sure that we're sitting nice and upright here, not sort of hunching or slouching here. So keeping nice and upright, and that just allows the ribs some space to really breathe and expand and contract with our breath. So with the 3-part breathing, we do it in 3 parts, of course. So the first part is breathing in through the nose, filling all of the belly up with air, moving up to the ribs, feeling the ribs filling with air, and then finally feeling the neck filling with air as well. And then when we breathe out, we feel the neck lose the air, and breathing out through the nose. Then, of course, the ribs and the chest area will lose the air out of there. And then finally, we're breathing out from the, the pit of the tummy. So breathing everything out from the whole of the belly. So it's that 3-part breathing. We're going to do it at our own pace because it can take a little bit of concentration to come to terms with the breath. So, and just find your breathing and find your own rhythm. So we're going to do this for about 2 or 3 minutes. So just a really nice time to center ourselves and easing into the practice. So we're going to close the eyes and do that together. So again, remember filling the belly, chest and neck. And then when we're breathing out of the neck, chest and belly. So we're going to do that now. So closing the eyes, just centering ourselves. And if that's good for you, you might want to incorporate some counting into it. So breathing in for 6, maybe out for 6 as well. We'll do that a couple more rounds, beginning to really feel connected to yourself, to your practice, to each other. Final round. Good. And we can gently just bring the hands onto the knees. And we can gently open the eyes. Let's just rest here, allowing the breathing to come back to its natural rhythm. And just take a moment to notice how you feel in this moment. Notice any physical little niggles you might have, any emotional, mental clues that you're feeling right now. Just embracing them, allowing them to be a part of the practice, welcoming them to this space. Okay, so we're going to come on to child's pose, and we're going to come in a nice, really nice wide child's pose. So with the knees the width of the mat, we'll just bring the toes together at the back, resting the body weight backwards, and let's stretch the arms out in front, really reaching forwards so that you can actively feel a stretch, particularly around the sort of the shoulders, maybe just around the sides near the armpits. And then we'll rest the head down onto the mat. Good, we're going to just stay here for a few moments. Just going to check my phone is on Do Not Disturb to ensure that we don't have any disturbances for our practice. Good. Lovely. So resting here. So what we're going to do with this practice today is start really nice and slow, and we're going to be holding our postures for a few breaths just to ease into the day, into the rest of our week. Rest is very much a part of yoga. Yoga is about being and feeling connected to ourselves, and whilst it's so nice to have some practices where you're really, you know, blowing off steam, sometimes we need to just slow down and rest and take it slow. Good. Okay, so let's move into tabletop position onto the hands and knees. And we're going to come into a little twist here, one of my favorites. I do this a lot. So we're going to take the right arm up first. So inhaling, taking the right arm up, looking up towards the right hand, towards the sky. Good. And then we're going to sit back onto the heels, onto the into hero's pose. And we're going to take the right hand behind us onto the lower back. Good. So onto the lower back. And the left hand is going to come on the outside edge of the right leg. And we're taking a little twist round to the right. So just gently twisting to the right, looking over the shoulder. Keep drawing the shoulders down and away from the ears. And making sure that we're not arching in the back here. Naturally, we want to bring a little arch. So just keeping the back nice and straight, keeping the core tucked in. Yeah, we're going to take another breath here. Good. Okay, let's come back to our tabletop position. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. So we're going to take the left arm up this time, gently twisting to the left. And then we're going to walk backwards, resting the left hand on the lower back. We're going to take a twist round to the left. So the right hand comes on the outside edge of the left knee, and gently twisting, looking behind. You might notice a nice sort of stretch on the outside edge of the right side of the neck. Good. 2 more breaths, keeping that core tucked in so that we're not arching in the back. Lovely. Okay. And we'll come back to our tabletop position. Making sure that we're spreading the fingers nice and wide here. And we're really gripping the fingers into the mat. We're going to take the right arm up again, inhale. And we're going to come into a little thread the needle, so threading that underneath the left arm. And with the left hand, you can either rest that onto the lower back or out in front of you, wherever feels better for you today. Bringing the right ear down to the mat. We're going to take 2 breaths here. You can take some big sighs out through the mouth if you want. Good. Let's push through the left hand, coming back into our tabletop position. And let's repeat that on the other side. So this time taking the left arm up, inhale, gently twist. Lovely. And then we can thread that underneath the right arm, bringing the left ear down to the mat, reaching out in front. Good, another breath here. Okay, we can push through the right hand and we'll come back into our tabletop position. Lovely, good. Okay, I'm just going to turn to face you at the front, resting down in hero's pose, so sitting back onto the heels. And we're going to come into a little eagle arms here to stretch out the arms a little bit and the shoulders. So let's just bring the palms together first in front of us. And then we're going to take the right arm underneath the left. That's it, lovely, really nice. Show hands and Jojo looking good. And then we're going to touch the palms together. Now, you can either rest the hands down, so trying to draw the hands down, if that's comfortable. Good. And keeping the shoulders pressing down. The other option, if you want to, is to bring the arms up. And now this gives a really nice stretch between the shoulder blades. So we can do one of each, whatever, or if you want to, if you've got a bit of an achiness around the shoulders, pick whichever feels good for you. Good. So yeah, lovely. Joe Savoy, I think I saw your signal went. Hello. See your back. Good. Lovely. Okay, so after drawing the arms down, we're going to bring the arms up. And this time, I'm just going to turn to the side so you can see this really well. So I'm bringing the arms up here so that my elbows are in line with my shoulders. And I'm going to actively push the elbows away from me, and that gives a really nice stretch between the shoulder blades. So I am creating a little bit of a rounding in the spine, which is okay. That's giving a nice stretch between the shoulder blades. So sort of pushing the elbows away, stretching between the shoulder blades. Take 2 breaths here. Lovely. Release the hands. I'll come back to the front. And we're going to do the same thing again the other side. So this time crossing the left arm underneath and bringing the palms together. Lovely. So we're going to push the hands down and away from us first. So bringing the hands down away from the face. First of all. Pressing the shoulders down away from us as well. Good. Another couple of breaths. One more breath. Lovely. And then this time we're going to bring the elbows up in line with the shoulders. And again, pushing the elbows away, creating a little rounding in the spine here. So we're just creating a nice stretch the other side between the shoulder blades. You might actually feel a little shaky here because we are doing a little bit on the arms. Yeah. So that's, if it's a little bit too much, maybe just ease off. Good. Okay, and we'll gently release. Okay, let's turn to the front. Let's just shake the arms off a little bit. Yeah, I can see you. You can all feel that. It's quite strong, isn't it? So let's just take the hands onto the shoulders and let's draw some big circles back and down. Inhaling as the elbows are coming up. Exhaling as we're coming down. Inhaling, bringing the elbows up. Exhale down. Maybe close the eyes for a moment here. Find your own rhythm, your own pace. Lovely. And we'll go back the other way. So inhaling, bringing the elbows back and up, touching, exhale. And again, inhaling, bringing the elbows up. Exhaling, touching and down. Couple more. Good. One more. Okay, lovely. So let's come now onto the knees. If you need a little blanket or a pillow or something under the knees, then grab that. So we're going to come into a little stretch here. So we would normally do this in my morning stretch class, but we're going to do it on the knees just to mix it up and add something a little bit different. So let's take one hand onto the hip. Let's take the right hand onto the hip. The left arm is going to come over. We're going to inhale, just twisting over to one side, just stretching the whole left side of the body. Keeping the fingers nice and active, so we're really stretching through the fingers. We're active through the whole body. Good. If you want to, you can release the hand from the hip and bring that across the body and maybe be able to go a little bit deeper. Just don't overdo it. Just go to within your limits. Good. And we'll gently come back up. Fully exhaling, lovely. Same thing the other side, left hand onto the left hip. We can inhale, bring the right arm up and over, keeping the spine nice and upright, keeping the tummy tucked in, leaning over. We can release the hand. This is a really nice lateral stretch along the side body. Getting a little bit deeper. And gently release. Good. Okay, let's just stretch out the feet a little bit. One of my favorites, toe cruncher. So let's just curl the toes under behind. And we're just going to rest the bottom down, keeping the tummy tucked in, the back's nice and straight. Let's bring the hands to the heart. We're just going to take a couple of breaths here. Like I said, just starting nice and slow with intention. Good. Okay, let's come up to standing. We're going to ragdoll up to standing. So bringing the knees into the chest. We'll gently unfold all the way back up. Bringing the head up last, the chin parallel to the ground. Good. Okay, so we'll come to the front of the mat. We're going to come into Surya Namaskar A. So we'll do one round of sun salutes, and then we're going to come into some more static postures, really holding our breath. And we'll use this one sun salutation to just warm up the body and just really find that flow with the breathing. So with the feet together, spread the toes. Just notice your balance. Notice how you feel today, whether you're leaning more to one side, the left or the right, more masculine or feminine. Bringing the shoulders back and down. We'll bring the palms facing forwards, stretching out the fingers, and we'll stay for a moment in Samasthiti. Just loosen off the neck, allow any tension to be released from the neck. Good. Okay, let's inhale, bring the arms all the way in, up, and palms together. Exhale, folding forward, keeping the back nice and straight for as long as we can. The weight is in the toe, bringing the hands down to the mat. We'll generously bend the knees, feeling the tummy connecting with the thighs. Let's inhale, half lift, look forward, straighten the legs. And exhale, back to a forward fold. Good. Okay, we're going to take both feet back into our plank position. And we're going to take some little circles here with the shoulders. So if you need to come down onto the knees, if this full plank is a little bit tricky for you, come down on the knees. We're going to draw 3 circles around one way with the shoulders. So engage in the core. And then we're going to reverse those circles back the other way. 3 circles. Good. Let's drop the knees down to the mat. Drop the chest, but keeping the elbows in nice and tight. We'll inhale, we're going to come to Sphinx pose. So not cobra this time. So just bringing the forearms down to the mat and placing the hands down as well. So we're really keeping the shoulders pressing down. It's a really subtle back bend. It's more of a yin posture. And we're going to take some little rounds with the neck here. So just stretching out the neck, going round 3 times one way. And then 3 times back the other way. Good. Okay, we're going to push back into child's pose. So pushing through the hands, coming into child's pose. Let's take 3 breaths here, pushing the hands out in front, active through the fingers. Big sighs out through the mouth. One more breath. Good. We're going to come into downward facing dog from here. So we'll come into tabletop fabs, curling the toes under, pushing the body weight backwards, lifting the knees. And let's just stretch out the calves and hamstrings here. So alternating between the legs, pushing one foot down, other foot down. Keeping the head nice and free here, just giving a little nod, yes and no. Good. Big breaths. Lovely. Okay, we'll push both heels down to the mat. Again, remembering to push through the fingertips so that you're really strong in the whole hand. Good. We're going to bring the right foot forward between the hands. And we're going to plant that left foot down behind us. And bringing that to a 45-degree angle. The heels are in the center of the mat. My heels are in one nice long line. And we're going to inhale, bring the arms up, come into warrior one. Good. So we've got the hips facing forward, looking really nice, everybody. Very good. Stay here. 3 more breaths. Making sure that the knee is over the ankle, just taking a look at the knee. Lovely. 1 more breath. Lovely. We're going to plant the hands down to the mat. And we're going to push the feet back into our downward facing dog. Good. Finding it here, just pedaling out the feet again, staying here for 5 breaths. If you want to have a little bit more of a challenge here in downward facing dog, you can bring the feet to the width of the mat and the hands. And we're going to actively press the head down towards the ground, trying to get as close to the ground as we can, but only if you feel that you really want a bit of a challenge today. Good. 1 more breath. Okay. Lovely. We're going to come into our tabletop position, dropping the knees down. And we're going to come all the way back into our Sphinx pose. So dropping everything down to the mat, bringing the forearms down as well. And we're going to take some of those little neck rolls again. So pressing the forearms and the elbows away from you, really nice and tall through the neck. And let's just rotate the head 3 times one way. And then back 3 times the other way. Good. Okay, we're going to push through the hands. We're going to find our child's pose. So dropping back onto our child's pose. Stretching the arms out in front. 3 breaths here. 2 more. Good. Let's find our tabletop position again. Nice. Okay, we're going to curl the toes under, coming into downward facing dog, lifting the knees, pushing backwards. And we're going to take 5 breaths here before we take the left foot forward. So 5 breaths where we are. Three more. In through the nose, out through the mouth. 2 more. And last breath. Good. Okay, let's bring the left foot forward between the hands. Plant the right foot down behind, keeping the heels in one nice long line. Making sure that our knee is over the ankle, not past it. We'll inhale, we're going to find warrior one again. So arms coming up, drawing the shoulders down. Good. Take a few more breaths here. Feeling really nice and strong here, really strong through both legs. 1 more breath. Let's bring the hands down to the mat. And we're going to come back into our downward facing dog. So pushing the left foot back. And we'll come into our downward facing dog. Good. Okay, if you want to here, we can just take the right leg up first. Pointing the toes, doesn't matter how high we get the leg. Just notice the left leg hamstring stretch is a little bit more intense. We can either point or flex the toes. So whatever you do, just don't let the foot relax. Either point the toes or flex the foot. Whatever feels good for you. We'll return that foot down to the mat. Swap sides. So take the left leg up behind. Point or flex the toes. Full body awareness here. Good, and drop the foot down. Okay, so we're going to bring the feet forward to our forward fold. So we can just walk the feet forward to the top of the mat. And we're going to stay in a nice bending knees here with the tummy and thighs connecting. Relax the head. Just giving a little nod, yes and no, on the head. Good. Let's give ourselves a little hug from behind the knees. So just hugging, holding opposite elbows. Notice the quad muscles are a bit fiery here. Good. Let's release the hands down and we'll take the hands onto the shins, half lift, find space, look forward, straight back. And exhale back to a forward fold. We'll inhale, bring the arms all the way back up to standing, palms together. And exhale, hands down to heart center. Good. Okay, so we're going to just come back to our Namaste, palms facing forward, shoulders round, back and down. Keeping the chin parallel to the ground. Let's just close the eyes for a moment here. Just notice the heart beating in the chest, notice the aliveness in the body, the breath rate. I'm just going to slow down, bringing it down to a natural rhythm. Good. Okay, so we're going to come into a little tree pose now, a little balancing posture. So bringing the, we're going to start with the right leg. So we're going to ground through the left foot. So spreading the toes nice and wide through the left foot. And let's bring the right foot onto the ankle. And now we're going to open out the leg to the side. Now just take the hands on the hips for a moment. Just notice what the hips are doing. If we're really dipping into one side, just actively try and bring the hips level. You might need to engage the core. Sometimes it helps to hold on to the tummy. Just feel a little activation there, and we can normally feel a little bit more strong here. Now we're going to bring the hands into chin mudra with the index fingers and thumbs touching. Let's bring the arms up. Lovely, really nice, everybody. Staying nice and strong here, really gripping the mat with the left toes. And not hunching on the shoulders here, bringing the shoulders down away from the ears. Good. It's a really good posture for sort of building confidence, self-esteem. Feel strong here. Good. If you want to, you can bring the leg a little bit higher, just underneath the knee. Keeping the leg out nice and to the side. Lovely. Good. And if you want to, you can take that higher, just on the inside edge of the left groin, whatever feels good for you. If you want to challenge yourself a little bit more, it doesn't matter if you wobble, just do what feels good for you. You'll notice the shoulders are a little bit burning now, mine too. And let's gently release the arms and the foot. Okay, good. Let's do the same thing on the other side. Rounding through the right foot, spread the toes. And we'll take the hands on the hips, bringing the foot onto the ankle, just noticing again what the hips are doing. And we're not resting, we're not resting into that right hip. We want that to be nice and level. We want to grow taller. Hands on the hips here. And when you're ready, bringing the hands into that chin mudra, all the way up, spreading through the arms, energy moving upwards. Almost like you can feel the crown of your head getting taller. If you want to, you can even try and close the eyes. Notice how that feels. Suddenly the balance is challenged. Good. And if you want to, moving the foot up just below the knee. Lovely. Good. Enjoy those wobbles. Laugh more if it's okay. Good. Again, feeling that in the shoulders. I know we're holding this for long. It is intentional. Good. And let's gently release. Okay. Let's just take some shoulder rolls back because that is quite intense on the shoulders. Lovely. And then let's rotate that forward. Good. Okay, we're going to come into a nice wide goddess pose now. So bringing the feet nice and wide here. As wide as feels comfortable for you. You can adjust while we're in the posture. And what we want to do is bend the knees. We want to keep the back nice and straight. So sometimes what I tend to see is people leaning forward. We don't want that. We want to come up nice and tall. So even if that means we need to bring the legs closer together to stay nice and upright. And we have a posterior tilt of the pelvis. So we're tucking the tailbone under and we're going to bend through the knees, bringing the hands to the heart. Good. So again, just checking where you are, staying nice and upright. Good. Just enjoy the little feeling of grounding through the legs. Really nice and strong here. If you will connect the hands onto the legs for a minute, just feel the muscles working, feeling that nice and active. And then let's just feel the opposite muscle, the hamstrings. They should feel nice and fleshy and they're not active here. So it's always good to connect to those muscles that we're working. Okay, so we're going to come into some little side stretches here. So we're going to move over to the right first. So we're going to take the right hand to the right knee. Inhale, leaning over to the right. Exhale, back to center. Over to the left. Inhale, exhale, center. Over to the right. And back to center. Over to the left. And back to center. You'll feel that in the legs. Let's straighten the legs. That's tough, it's not easy. Let's bring the hands to the heart for a moment. Just take a breath. We'll do that 2 more times. And so we're just building strength in the legs, which is really good for our posture as well. Good. Okay, when you're ready, we can bend into that as far as you feel comfortable. And we're going to move over to the right first. So right hand to right knee, left arm come up, inhale over, exhale back, inhale left, over to the left, sorry, exhale back, over to the right, and back, and over to the left, and back, 1 more each side. Inhale over to the right and back, over to the left. Good. Center, and let's straighten the legs. Good. Hands to heart, just bring the breath down a little bit. Good. Okay, 1 more breath. Lovely. Last round, bending the knees. See if you can go a little bit deeper this time, coming a little bit further down without overdoing it. If you need to come up at any time, do so. Okay, let's move over to the right. Inhale over and back. Left and back. Right. Exhale, center, left, and center. 1 more each side. Good. And last one. Lovely, looking really nice, everybody. Center and straighten the legs. Good, let's just heel toe the feet back together. And let's just shake the legs out a little bit. It's really nice to have a little shake out of the legs when we've done something like that. Just give them a little rub if you need to. Okay, so we're going to yogi squat all the way down to the mat and come to some floor work before we come in Shavasana. So feet just wider than hip width, toes are pointing out. We're going to come all the way down to the mat in one nice motion. And sitting down, if that's too much for you, maybe bring the hands out in front, or just sitting down onto the bum your way. Good. Just take 2 breaths here. Lovely. Let's take the hands behind, guiding us to sitting down. Lovely. Okay, we're going to come into nice wide straddle pose. So with the feet nice and wide here. If you want to grab something to just prop the sitting bones up, feel free. It does make it a lot easier and more comfortable. And if you feel any pulling on the back of the knees, then you definitely need something underneath the bum. Okay, so we're going to take it into take it as a yin position. So we're going to allow the back to round here. So we're just going to lean the body forwards. Now you might feel that we're not moving very far at all, which is fine, me too. And it's early in the morning, we might not have done a lot of stretching, but all we're going to do is relax the head down, allowing the back to round. And we're going to stay here for a few breaths. So relaxing the head, just opening the mouth, releasing the jaw of any tension, And just notice that both of my feet are flexed, so both of my feet are very much engaged. So although my upper body is very relaxed, my lower body is active here through the feet. Good. You might notice some of the birds chirping around me. Good. And you might notice that the body weight, the weight of the upper body is allowing you to move closer to the ground. Good. A few more breaths. Good. Okay, let's gently come back to bringing the body upright. And then when we hold a position for longer, it's always good to use the hands to help guide the feet back together. So nice and slow, there's no rushing, no need to rush that at all. Good. Okay, let's bring the knees together and face the front here. So we're just going to take some little rocks back here. So with the hands on the knees or just under the knees, whatever feels better for you. We're just going to take a little rock back and back forward. Now you can do that as subtle as you want or as fast as you want. We're just going to take 10 rocks. So 9, 8, this is also good for our core. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and last one. Lovely. Okay, let's come into a little butterfly pose here. So we'll bring the feet together, the soles of the feet together. Again, you might want to just move those fleshy bits out of the way, bringing the feet in as close as feels good for you. And again, making sure that we're not rounding the back here or really creating an arch. So we just want to be sitting up nice and tall with the hands on the ankles all around the feet. And let's just rise up nice and tall again like we did through our tree pose with the crown of the head feeling nice and tall. Good, we'll just stay here for a moment. Closing the eyes just to slow the body, the mind down as we're winding down our practice. Good. Okay, we're going to bring the feet now into stacked logs. So I'll just turn to the front. So we've got the bottom leg crossed as usual, and the other leg will go on top. It doesn't matter which way we start because we'll do it both ways. Again, just moving those fleshy bits out of the way. So we've got the legs stacked on top of each other. We're going to just walk the hands forward here, and you'll notice that really deep in the hips. If you want to, you can come up onto the fingertips, relax the head and take some gentle sways around with the shoulders, just coming into a little flow to your breath. And this just explores the muscles around the hips as well. And just moving to your breath. Or if it the flow doesn't really feel good for you today and you want to just stay still, do that too. Whatever feels good for you. Good. Okay, let's walk the hands back. And we're going to swap sides, so crossing the other leg underneath and stacking the other leg on top. Nice. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing again. So walking the hands forwards and relaxing the neck and head. And if you want to, coming into those little sways. To your breath. Good. Lovely. Okay. Walking the hands back. Lovely. We're going to come into Paschimottanasana now. So with the feet out in front. Really good one for our hamstrings. So if you need to prop yourself up on something again, feel free. Moving those fleshy bits out of the way. So we're going to inhale, bring the arms up. And exhale, bringing the hands onto the shins or around the ankles. We want to keep the back nice and upright here. So we're not trying to round the back to get the head onto the knees. Keeping the feet nice and flexed here. Shoulders pressing down, away. Looking really nice, everybody. Looking in front. Good. Okay, we're going to do a little flow with this. So we're going to bring the hands up again, inhale. And we're going to just bring the hands down the body. Inhale, arms come forward and then back up. So down the body. Inhale as we move forward and back up. Good. Inhale, move forward. Exhale as we move down. Inhale, move forward. And exhale, down. Good. We'll do 2 more. Lovely. And let's bring the hands together at the heart. The feet are still flexed here. And you'll notice that the core needs to engage slightly to just bring us or keep us at an upright position. So let's engage the core here into Dandasana, staff pose. Good. Okay, lovely. So we're going to come into laying now, into supine on our back. So laying back here. Let's just take a happy baby to finish. So bending the knees, taking the hands on the outside edge of the feet, and bringing the feet up to facing the sky. Relaxing through the facial features here if you want to. Taking a little sway, rocking side to side. Good. Lovely. Let's bring the knees together, release the hands. Let's take the hands onto the knees. Relax the feet here. And let's just draw some nice big circles around one way, massaging the lower back. Sacrum. Good, just drawing some nice big circles. And then let's reverse that, going back the other way. Lovely. Okay, so let's bring the feet down to touching the mat with the knees still bent. And we can bring the arms to the side of the body in either a cactus shape or into a T shape, whatever feels better for you. I'm going to take a cactus shape today. And we're going to take the knees over to the right, keeping the shoulders down on the ground. And we can look over the left shoulder and just allow the whole body to relax here. Even if that means the knees want to sort of splay out, but just relax the body. Just enjoying this calm in the body. Okay, and bringing the head back to middle first, bringing the knees up, arms stay where they are, and then let's take the knees over to the left, relaxing fully here, looking over the right shoulder. Good. Bringing the head back to the center, the knees back. And we can either take the legs out in front if you want to, or if you want to, keeping the knees bent and the knees touching, just connected in the middle, whatever feels better for you. We're going to just bring our hands onto our tummy if you want to, connecting with the skin on the tummy. And we're just going to feel our breath here for about 10 breaths before we come into full Shavasana. Just to slow down, be present, aware of our breathing. So we're going to just take some nice big deep breaths in. And a big sigh out through the mouth. Good, 9 more. Again. Breathing in. Good. Again. Good. Filling the air to the bottom of the belly. Lovely. 5 more. Four more. 3. 2 more. And last one. Good. Just staying still for a moment. You might feel a little bit lightheaded. The real rush of oxygen to the brain. Just notice how you feel. And if you want to now, you can take the legs out in front. And you can either keep the hands on the belly, connecting with the skin, or taking the hands by the side of the body, palms facing out. Whatever feels better for you in this moment. bringing the breath back to its natural rhythm. Just checking in all over the body, just scanning over the body, noticing anywhere you feel any tightness. Just see if you can send the breath there. Relaxing a little bit more. Just enjoy the stillness in the body and the mind. Just noticing any noises around you, allowing them to be there. Good. And we can begin to wake up the body by stretching through the arms and legs, maybe taking the arms up above the head, maybe enjoying a little yawn. When you feel ready, you can roll onto one side, using the arm as a pillow. Just resting here without the need to rush and do anything else. And keeping the eyes closed, we can guide the hands, bringing ourselves to sitting position. Any comfortable sitting position for you. Taking your time to get there, resting longer if you need to. I'm going to just take the hands on top of the chest. Seeing if you can feel a lightness in the chest, just breathing here. Big sighs out through the mouth. Feeling it become suddenly lighter. Good. And we'll take one more breath here to seal the practice. All together, breathing in. Big sigh out through the mouth. Good. Bringing the palms together. Taking it to the third eye, the thumb on the space between the eyes. And we can just bow forward and namaste.